Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which can be patriotic and it can be anti-patriotic.
Okay, thank you.
And it can anarchist is what I was going to try to say, but then it took me a minute. And it can be, just like middle of the road, and it can be fascist. But at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet, like a utopian socialist.
What is this written reference to, my friend? What happened in this episode that has anything to do with patriotism?
His love of Egypt.
Oh, okay,
Great.
great.
And also, we're about to have July 4th. So it's June 27th right now. That was also the thing. July 4th is coming upon us, and we're Americans. So you can, think about that any way you want.
I'm definitely unpatriotic, just to put my stamp on it. So let's start off with John and Sprite. So they get into it says dad after argument, and I was like, what? Day after the argument. So this is after they got into a fight yesterday because John didn't know what time Sprite got home, and Sprite didn't know either, which is so crazy. Sprite's like, I don't know what time I got home. I'm like, how I'm looking at the time all the time just to know what time it is. But anyway, so he decides then to like do a surprise outing because he wants to just throw away the negativity that happened the day before, and he wants to take him on a trip. And so Sprite's like, where are we going? London? Where are we going? Liverpool? Like, where are we going? And John's like, maybe. And so I really just, the build up to this was so good, and it was so anticlimactic. It was the worst thing ever, and Sprite did better than me. Because I would have been like, no, I'm going home. No, we can't do this at home. I don't want to do this here. No, absolutely not. I'm sorry. I know there's a whole camera crew. Everybody wrap this shit up. We're going back.
I would have done. I would have said.
Yeah, I know.
I like a picnic, and
it wasn't a picnic. It wasn't a picnic. There was no blanket. There was no basket. There was no cooler. There was no music. There was no umbrella. There was nothing.
You're absolutely right. Like, it felt like he took those basic ass ham and cheese sandwiches, like, from his pocket, which meant at that point it was so hot, because they had been walking in these fields and these forests, where what looks like, because literally the editors kept it in, two different shots of dead and decaying sunflowers. They really wanted to like drive home that this place is decimated, death looking, and Sprite is right. They really gave us a Sprite is right. So, which is interesting because, you can feel them taking a side. So yes, he makes these dumbass sandwiches. Again, he loves these sandwiches, the worst cook ever. No wonder why he didn't get that job. He, makes them sit down. There is no blanket. I mean, just so you know, like, my picnic game is so fucking intense. It is like I have so many things because I have gone to like the cemetery screenings, Cinespia, whatever fucking it's called, so many times I can't say it, but I've gone. I just have so much good picnic shit. Like, I have chairs that are super low and normal chairs, and I have waterproof underlings, and I have like coolers, and I have wine things, and I have little tables, and I have the thing where you put like charcuterie on a thing and there's an ice section underneath to keep it cold. Like, I'm a fucking nightmare. But you know what? John isn't. John's a nightmare.
No,
in
he
his own way.
is. He is. Yeah.
So
Also,
basically,
he didn't even tell him. Okay, he didn't even tell him what to wear. He's like,
well, he said wear something for outside. No, he did. He said wear something for outside. And then what ended up happening was when they get to each other, John's like, "Oh, you look handsome," and me, and Sprite's like, "Homeless,"
which is so true.
Yes. You know what? And I'm like trying to think, like, why does he look homeless? And he looks homeless. And this was the thing. It's because you can't always wear loose, comfortable pants all the time. Sometimes you have to wear form-fitting and or silhouette and or like button trousers, with like a certain
structured pant.
Yeah, with a fabric that, has a little hold to it.
Yeah, he definitely did not do that well at all. And Then he didn't even know where they were going. He got lost. And it is just, how could I ever trust John to protect me or feed me?
Sprite literally was like, England food, gross. But however, John makes up for it. So then he finally does the thing that Sprite has been wanting him to do so badly, which is take him to not only London, but Chinatown in London, which is
Mhm.
bustling and full of people, which is exactly what he wants. He wants to be surrounded by people moving their bodies and away from like the dead sunflowers and like the brown grass or whatever, weeds everywhere that he
Yeah.
gets in the countryside. They
They
finally also eat. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, they talk and they're eating, and John is like, "Oh, are you gonna move here? Are we gonna get married?" Like he starts to really pressure Sprite to make these decisions, and Sprite is like, "Listen, I don't know if I want to live where you live. That's the thing. Like, if you continue to live here, I can't come. I cannot stay there." And John doesn't get that. John just really wants to force Sprite to like the country, which is so crazy. It's a crazy pursuit. Really, to get somebody who says I'm a city person to just like live in the country because that's what you want them to do. And so Sprite is like, I can't make this decision now because if I say what I'm thinking now, we might as well break up in his mind. He didn't say that out loud, but that's what I was thinking. This is my
Yeah, you're right.
interpretation for him. And so Sprite starts to cry. Then John backs up, and then John's like, well, you're right. I guess I can't make him, I'm going to give him some time. But hopefully in that time, he thinks, yes, I do want to go live with John in the country and be his house bitch.
Yeah, so many questions. A, John wants Sprite to just love him enough to like move anywhere he wants to go. But also B, John, if you want to be again a celebrity chef, why don't you move to London? I mean,
Because he
only because
wants the celebrity to find him in the country. He wants,
honey, you're not with those sandwiches.
no.
Okay, let's move on to Nicole and Tahir.
Oh,
Taher. Taj,
okay.
Hannah Tah, whatever Tah. Anyway, so basically this comes on the heel of the fact that Nicole has been hearing some rumors, just kidding. She's been hearing some interesting sentences when she has been introduced to other Egyptian people as his wife, which is that, oh, okay, but are you going to marry an Egyptian woman? And she's like, listen, I get it. I know that in Islam you could have more than one wife, but we haven't ever really talked about this. And let me fucking tell you right now, I'm it. I'm the one. I am number one. I am it. It's me. Period. I'm not seeking no sister wife, honey. No. Like no Cody Brown for you, sir. Not no. You know what I'm saying? We're not that family that broke up, the hippie family from like seasons 1 to 4 with the dreads, like none of that. We know them. It's just me. I'm Nicole. And again, I'm not Nicole of Nicole and Mahmoud. I'm this Nicole. I'm a little bit chiller. And it seems
I'm
like we have a better
way chiller.
relationship. Yeah, we seems like we have a better relationship.
I understand my husband and I love and respect him. That's how that's how different I am from the Nicole and Mahmoud. Yeah, so she has the conversation with him, and I love how sometimes people's English is like not the best, and so the way they say things makes it seem like they're completely shutting down the conversation, and I don't enjoy that. When he's like, I don't want to talk about this again. It's like, no, you don't get to tell me what we're going to talk about. I'm so sorry. And no. You can't just tell me don't worry and then don't worry, I don't want to talk about it again. No. So he takes her to a lovely restaurant on the Nile. And listen, if she says it's lovely, I'm going to believe that it's lovely because from the vantage view that we saw, it was outside plastic chairs and a dark river. Now, I'm going to say that that still may be lovely. I just didn't think, I don't know if I would describe it as lovely. But that's just me. So they're there because and Nicole from the other Nicole, she wouldn't have described it as love. There was like everything about this. I kept thinking about Nicole and Mahmoud, and I was just like, Nicole and Mahmoud would not like this would not be the thing.
Well, when he says her name, right? Like that's to me, it's like every time he says her name, like Nicole, I'm just like, I it's like obviously PTSD. I can hear an Egyptian man saying Nicole. I'm just like, yeah.
And so they sit down and she asks him, she's like, are you going to be okay? Like, because, and I don't know if I want to move back to Egypt after this. I don't know that I could live here. It's hard. And he gets upset because he's like, that we made a plan that we were going to eventually come back here. My kids are going to be Muslim. This is why I'm doing this. This is the things that I needed to be secure in this relationship. And she's just like, yeah, I don't know that I can give it to you. And I know that it's upsetting you, but we got to talk about it. And so he's like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. And then he's like, I got to go to the bathroom. He gets up, he walks away. she doesn't yell after him. She just kind of sits there and she's just like, let me let him have his moment. And then when he comes back, which seems like almost immediately, he goes up to her and he's like, he hugs her and kisses her. And he's like, I don't want this to come between us. Like, I love you. Like, I just get upset and I'm sorry. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is night and day different. And I really do think they can make it. I think he just needs to get out of Egypt and recognize that Egypt isn't the center and it isn't the only way, and there are other options for him. It's like she has to just pull him into the secular world just a little more, because he's already kind of there. But the whole thing about her not learning Arabic is like weird to me, because I'm like, she has no reason to like learn Arabic at this point. Like, she should 100%, but the fact is that you speak enough English to where she wouldn't. And then also the fact that she believes somehow that her kids won't speak English means that either A, she's not planning on raising her kids, or B, she's fucking stupid. Kids speak their mother's language unless their mother isn't there or their mother isn't mothering. But a kid born in any country, there could be somebody who speaks Spanish who moves to Russia. That kid will speak Spanish.
Yep. That's absolutely true. My first language was Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
because I was being raised by someone who spoke Spanish. But yeah, absolutely. So I thought it was such a beautiful moment of patience that they had, where when he comes back, he like kisses her hand in such a way I thought it was so respectful. He really loves Nicole and he's trying to move through it. They're very young. He is also like, they are watching this. My family is watching this. My family is watching my wife say that she doesn't want to be Muslim when they keep telling me that, and so he knows what he's been telling his family, which is that he's going to have Muslim kids and Nicole is going to be shown the light, and the light is this beautiful religion that she's going to, want to hold near and dear and hug and embrace, because it is so gorgeous and beautiful and perfect and the right one. Why would it not be my wife enjoying it? So all of that is happening inside of him, but he knows that I'm so happy, knows that she is an individual person with her own wants, needs, loves, and culture, and he understands what she's saying cannot be like cast aside. So I loved it. Anyway, that's all I have to say about them. There's only two more couples left. Jamie and Kathleen, and Louise and Jose.
Jamie and Kathleen. So he's packing to go to Cyprus, and he's going to go see Kathleen. He's so excited. He even got himself a light blue suitcase, which didn't expect to come from him. I thought he was going. I just didn't expect it. Yeah. Okay. That's not. It's like wild. But anyways,
my baby boy. He's little baby blue.
Yeah. And so they're gonna have a party. And
yeah.
Tell me what you understood about this.
Okay. This is what okay. This got so wild. And so this has to bring this in, I have a question. Okay. So let's just tell the secret too, because then I have a theory with everything. Okay. So as Wa said, yes, for some reason, his parents are now going to Cyprus with him. He's going back to see Kathleen, but his parents also love Cyprus, so much so that they've been going so long and they are now having a party at Cyprus, where a family party where they're inviting either people from the UK to also go to Cyprus, also maybe their friends in Cyprus. Now, Kathleen has an invitation only through him, whatever. His mom allowed him to invite Kathleen. And he obviously is going to Cyprus and showing her what a romantic person he is. He'll do a bunch of things romantic to show her that he's back. But he also has to tell her, here's the rub, which for some reason, the woman that he cheated on Kathleen with, which was her friend named Tess, that she knew, is also friends with his parents and going to the party, which then I was like, okay, are Tess and Kathleen like, home workers that work for UK people, and Jamie's family knows UK families that like have summer homes in Cyprus that utilize, international servants, and that's where I'm like, I don't understand
how is Tess invited but Kathleen's not? What circles does Tess run in that she would be invited to a party that his family throws?
Right.
Like, what circles in which do they get it? Like, and I was thinking the same thing. Is Tess in servitude as well? And so she just was really good servant to them at some point, and they just like, we love Tess, we love her so much, and in fact, we prefer Tess over Kathleen.
And Jamie tried to fuck a servant is what I think is like why it's really fucked up. I think.
Yeah, and it's just like it's just very confusing. It's very confusing as to what the relationship is, and so it also feels now that we think about it that way, it feels praying, like feels like Jamie's like preying on these women, and like is going for it just feels like bad. It feels like
economic inequality in order to like get someone that would put up with his very minuscule skills
brain
in the dating department.
And like it is just it's such a crazy scenario, and he's like, I don't know what to do, and I'm like, you demand your parents uninvite Tess or you don't attend.
Right. It's so easy.
Your parents aren't gonna disown you for not going to the party. So you just have to expect their wrath and accept their wrath.
Your mom's obsessed with you. There's no reason for her to invite Tess. She's inviting Tess to make Kathleen upset. And that is the only idea I have. And your mom, please tell her to get a different fucking foundation and to put some color on her lips. Okay, Jamie? And also you hold it down somewhere else because this can't be. But let's get into his plans to romance Kathleen.
Oh.
So, he brings a large white teddy bear and lays out rose petals on the bed for her. And then it has different rose petals to spell J plus K. I always think, like, are these rose petals going to stay in this white mattress, or are these not real rose petals? I'm not quite sure. Didn't buy enough. He has a laugh that's like really horrible, and they really showcase it a lot.
Yeah. He's like, ha!
Yes, absolutely.
Or something. It's like something wild.
They go to dinner. Okay. She comes to the hotel. He doesn't go to pick her up. She comes to the hotel. He's like, look, babe, come into the hotel that I've made pretty, my hotel room for you. It's also weird. She's like, okay, and then she's like, you're half romantic. He calls, I think, his dick Big Adonis, which I think is what their joke is, but I just like hate that. Then they go out, he brings her flowers. And this is the worst part for me. The worst part is, he has a menu, honey, and he's like, what am I going to drink with you? Let's see. Can we try the Pinot Grigio? the Pinot Grigio.
And she's like Pinot Grigio.
Yeah, her face melts off. And she's like, I want the world to swallow me in this moment. This man is disgusting. And I'm with him.
Oh my God. It was just so shameful. It was so shameful. He's ashamed. He's ashamed. Anyways, so yeah, she's like, you're half romantic, haha. But she's like, thank you so much for trying to do these things for me, but it still like isn't right. And this is when we come to the fact that she's gonna have to go to the party, or that he wants her to still go to the party because he has to go because his parents are putting it on. So I have to be there. I'm like, why? Are you giving a toast, a speech? Are you manning are you tending the bar? Like, what is it that you need to be at this event?
I get that he has to go, but what I don't get is the disrespect for him. If his if his family's throwing it and he has a date for the first time in his whole fucking life, I cannot imagine the disrespect of being like, I want me and my date to feel comfortable, so you can't invite this one person.
Yeah.
And the fact that they did it is just like, well, listen, can I be honest? It's actually perfect TV. So last and certainly not least, I'm going to let you cover, but I do have that song.
Luis and Jose. Sorry, not John. Luis and Jose. All right. They're from season 2. Yeah, they're from series 2, and she is a woman from Gloucestershire who has like a grown-ass child. Like, her child is an adult. She was a teen mom, and she likes black men. And so she met Jose, who's a Colombian rapper, and he didn't speak no English. I mean, when they first started talking, but his nickname for her is Chicken. And so he's, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. So his nickname for her is Chicken, and is always like, I love chicken. And her kids are real skeptical of him and the situation. And then it's been a year. And so it's their anniversary. And he's finally made it to the UK. They've had to do a lot of back and forth. And along the way, she got pregnant. And so for 9 months of their back and forth over the 12-month period, she's pregnant for that. And he is just like this immature kid who thinks that he's going to come to the US. Like she's like 37 and he's like 23 and he's going to come to the UK. And he's either the same age or like maybe 2 years older than her son. And that big afro is like his gimmick or whatever. And they have the baby Raul. I am baby Raul. And like, she is so positive when she's like, Jose's really been trying. And I'm like, it's not good enough though. Even though I'm happy that you're happy with his trying, she really wants the world to know that he's trying and that he needs to get some kind of credit for trying, but it's not okay.
Yeah. Yes. So many things happen. So he has a home studio. He's very excited about his home studio. He's like, I'm laying down these tracks. And now, again, I've never heard this person ever, but I know what 90 Day Fiancé is with these rappers. And so I'm like, okay, this is the song. It's 30 seconds long. I don't know if we're going to sit through all of it, but
it's so bad. Go ahead.
It's so wildly bad and wildly not a rap. I mean, in no language could this be considered rapping. It's horrible. And
also stick to Spanish. Don't rap in English.
I don't think to me, these skills are so bad that I can only assume that he can't do it in Spanish. It wouldn't make a difference.
My new track is Story Luis on Me. Feel me with love, I'm happy night. That was your priority. A long time or like was a video call. You changed my life, now you are my wife. It's nice to wait on next to you and feel your bed with rose petal. I always in reality. You carry a baby and your boom. You carry a baby and your boom. It is a magic moment that will stay forever in my mind.
What? You carry a baby in your womb. You carry a baby in your womb. Whatever you just did will stay forever in my mind. Is
wild. He's
what?
Wild. But all of his drip.
Rap. No one's ever said it.
He has gold and silver drip, two separate types of drip. Now in this, we see him really trying, and so he goes to the local like Arabic chicken shawarma shop. And he starts to, he like high fives the guy like 5 times. Like, yeah, gives him daps like 5 times. He's like, yeah, I'm here and I have a baby now and nappies. And so then we just see him like dancing while serving rice, dancing while mopping the kitchen. Then they give him a chicken suit and he goes out and so he is loving every second of this. And he really wants the UK audience to download his music so that he can make money for the family.
You're absolutely right. He also gives a card just, to Louise, and she immediately starts laughing and she says it looks like a big dick. And
it's dick and balls. Yeah,
it looks like a big dick and balls. It looks like the actual chicken looks just like, remember Angry Birds? Like, remember when Angry Birds was the biggest thing ever?
Mm-hmm. It still is in certain circles.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, Angry Birds. Okay. Yeah, like him, he loved. To me, I'm like, the owner keeps like disapprovingly looking on, and I don't understand why. Because you will not find a worker that enjoys working as much as it looks like Jose is enjoying his time at this chicken shop. And by the way, yeah, I was like, is it Arabic? Is it Indian? I kept looking at the rice, trying to like be like, what kind of rice is that?
Does it have saffron in it? Like, yeah,
right.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it
kind of is it Persian?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is there like onions and peppers, like, with some sumac? Yeah, I try to look at that because it's just any kind of open flame grilled, kebabby kind of chicken. It could be so many things. Boy, did it look good though.
Yeah. So he has that moment, and that is the end of the episode. So we're gonna see insanity ensue on episode 8. They came in on the 8th episode of the season. So maybe we have until 16? Who knows? So that's a real late bloomer in the show. But thank you guys so much for joining us. If you want to see the visuals of what you're listening to, please join us on patreon.com/DocuSweeties for $10 a month. You get it live every first Monday of the month, plus other goodies. So if you're interested in that content, please join us. If you're not, then, or if you don't have any money, Chris can tell you other ways that you can support us. Chris?
Look, times are hard, and we just appreciate you listening, honestly. Thank you so much for spending any amount of time with us, like giggling or wiggling with us. So here's the thing. We are on social medias, and we definitely need followers, comments, likes. We need engagement, that whole situation. We need like reviews for the podcast. All of these things are free. So if you want to spend like 5 minutes giving us all the love, we really can, we really will take it. At Docu Sweeties on Instagram, at Docu Sweeties on TikTok, at Docu Sweeties 1 on X. We have a Facebook group, the Docu Sweeties Podcast Facebook group. We have a YouTube. Please go subscribe there. At the same time, yes, a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts would be great. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you later. Okay.
All right. Bye.